Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to Season 3 of Luminous Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we saw the end of a war and witnessed two cats falling in love. So apparently, Shade Clan has decided that the dust has settled upon this war of ours with them. And hopefully, it is going to stay that way, and we're not just going to jump into having another war with another clan, because our cats are still recovering from a lot of those injuries, but we do have this wonderful love story between Canary Snap and Lupine Claw to look forward to. Since they are both in love at this point, I am crossing my fingers and hoping that we are going to get some kittens from the two of them. But it's okay, because that aside, we have some really exciting stuff happening in this episode, because our apprentices are going to be aging up into warriors, so I cannot wait to see that. Let us, without further ado, dive into the leader's den, see how Godzilla Star is going to handle this. I mean, we are neutral with Shade Clan now, but let's see how he decides to handle this next gathering and roll the dice. Okay, we got a 8 on the 10-sided dice, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, Shade Clan. And we have, thank goodness, a 5 on the 8-sided dice, which means we're going to try and befriend Shade Clan after they have kind of ended the war with us. So please, please, please become friends with them. We really don't want another war. So okay guys, let us go ahead and skip a moon. We don't have any birth and death notices, it seems. The war with the Charm Clan has begun! No. No, this is not what we wanted. This is not what we wanted. Terrible weather convinces Godzilla Star to skip this gathering. Any befriending of Shade Clan can wait until the sky isn't caving in on Luminous Clan. Shade Clan relations remain unchanged. You know, I did not appreciate these situations where we couldn't meet other clans during the gathering. I never appreciated this back when all we had was allies. But when you have like hostilities in every which direction, this can be a big hit to your clan. If suddenly, because of one thing or another, you can't befriend the clan you're trying to befriend. Okay, Plum Raven's claw wound has healed, but they'll always carry evidence of the incident on their pelt. Shadow Swirl's claw wound has healed. Pepper's joint pain is feeling much better. The war with Charm Clan is beginning to disrupt the daily lives of Luminous Clan, forcing them to adapt to new routines and living situations in order to better defend themselves. Blizzfur's mangled leg has healed up. As the clan cheers for the new warrior, Daisy Quake, that's an interesting name, Shadow Swirl purrs loudly. Her kit is finally a warrior. A new journey has begun for Daisy Quake, and Shadow Swirl knows that Daisy Quake's adaptability will lead him through anything. Okay, and then we have, let's see, Godzilla Star stands above the clan and proclaims that Thunderpaw shall now be known as Thunderwind, honoring his energy. I think that's a cool name, Thunderwind. Godzilla Star rests his muzzle on Tornfern's head. Tornfern, okay, and declares her to be a full warrior of Luminous Clan, honoring her dignity. Tornfern, I actually don't mind that name, and Tornfern is his favored child, so I think it's really cute that he's resting his muzzle on her head. And that's what we have for the cats. So can we just straight away check out these new warriors to see how they look, their personalities, and how they've been influenced by their mentors? Because I am dying to know. Okay, look at that. These cats look quite interesting. Tornfern looks so much like her mother. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to take a look at them in the birth order. Daisy Quake is the oldest. And you know, Daisy Quake, he's a tomcat, but he has the daintiest coloring, the daintiest appearance, and the daintiest name, I feel like. But that's kind of cool. So Daisy Quake over here is nervous and a good swimmer. Okay, that's fascinating. So let's take a look at him and who his mentor was. So he was mentored by Central. He was insecure, then he became righteous towards the second half of his apprenticeship, but he graduated into a nervous cat. Interesting. So let's see. Sunchill influenced him to be more likely to avoid a fight, have trouble adapting, and bend the rules. When he graduated, he was honored for his adaptability, despite the fact that Sunchill influenced him to have trouble adapting. That is very intriguing. Now, I wonder if Daisy Quake has become... It's kind of funny that his name is like Quake. His warrior name was Quake, and he's nervous, almost as though he's like quaking in his boots, you know? I think maybe for Daisy Quake, a lot of this nervousness comes from the time that he lives in, and I suppose that Sunchill, as a more like childish, carefree sort of cat, probably taught Daisy Quake ways in which to have like his flight response take precedent over his fight response, and like how to get out of dangerous situations and avoid fights, because fights can end up being very, very deadly for you. Which makes sense because Sunchill, I feel like, would have wanted to obviously preserve his apprentice's life, and he's not the type of cat to dive into like a battle. So I think that's what happened over here. Now, have trouble adapting. Obviously, Daisy Quake didn't really listen to this particular thing, but I'm thinking that maybe this was Sunchill's way of telling Daisy Quake that just because we live in a time of war doesn't mean we have to get used to living in a time of war, because that is not kind of the ideal life that we want. We want to live in a time of peace, obviously. So if you have ideals for peace, kind of don't adapt or change yourself to become more warlike, because that's just going to perpetuate this era of fighting and this lifestyle we have of fighting. And then bend the rules. Okay, bend the rules. And I think maybe that's Sunchill's way of saying that sometimes, you know, the clan is going to expect you to put up a fight. But if it comes to your life and someone else's life, it's okay to bend the rules to preserve your own life. I feel like that's the kind of advice Sunchill would be giving Daisy Quake. Like, it's okay to think about yourself before you think about others. So that's intriguing. That is Daisy Quake, guys. Then we have his younger brother, Thunderwind, who was second born. So Thunderwind over here is charismatic and a trusted advisor. Interesting. Now, he was the one who had, Stonespec as a mentor, and I love the fact that he has gained almost this kind of political skill as a trusted advisor, because I remember Godzilla Star wanting Stonespec, who was ambitious, to kind of shape Thunderwind in a way that would be beneficial to Godzilla Star in the future. So this is really cool. Let's see, he was mentored by Stonespec. Stonespec influenced him to be more likely to bicker with others, be slow to anger, and heed the inner compass. Stonespec helped him become better at providing insight. When he graduated, he was honored for his energy. Okay, I really like this for him. So obviously this goes into like his diplomatic training in a way. And I think this bickering with others, that's kind of Stonespec's way of saying, put forth your point and argue it well, right? And that's very much in line with his charismatic personality. Be slow to anger so that you can hear someone else's point of view and come up with a logical argument to counter it, rather than getting riled up and kind of losing, you know, your side of the battle. And heed the inner compass, like use your intuition to kind of figure out the situation you're in. And if you think that you might have an advantage over someone when it comes to, like, you know, words and certain discussions, if you have a gut feeling, then go for that gut feeling. It's not going to lead you astray. So I really like that, and providing insight. Yeah, she really helped hone his, again, political and diplomatic skills as a trusted advisor, which is so cool. But I really like that for Thunderwind. It makes so much sense that he has been shaped in this way. And finally, we have the youngest sister, Tornfern, who also has the title of, hold on a second, the Torn Princess. I'm thinking of Blissva. She was one of 3 apprentices in her batch and graduated as the Torn Princess. So that's right, she has that title now. Really cool. And she, just like her brother, Thunderwind, has maintained this strict personality. So let's take a look. And she's an unusually strong fighter and a good kid sitter. She was mentored by Orchidshine. Orchidshine influenced her to be more likely to be ready for a fight, refrain from socializing, and have strong inner morals. Orchidshine helped her become better at fighting. When she graduated, she was honored for her dignity. Okay, this makes sense. So Tornfinn basically was trained in a completely opposite way to her oldest brother, Daisy Quake. It's kind of interesting though with their names. Like we have Daisy Quake, such a dainty name, and then Tornfinn, a bit more of an aggressive name. Feels like a war-torn name, right? So for her, yeah, Orchidshine, as a strict, more of a warrior cat, she kind of trained Tornfinn, or taught Tornfinn that because we live in a time of war, you must always be ready to jump into battle. You know, you have to be always kind of in your best state, because the lives of the cats around you, the lives of your family, it's relying on you, and how well you perform. And refrain from socializing. I think this is something that Orchidshine is kind of known for passing on to her apprentices. I feel like this is Orchidshine's way of saying that you shouldn't get distracted by the cats around you. You should have kind of a lot of alone time and be able to focus on yourself, right? And you need to give time to yourself and don't partake in like frivolous gossip, all those kind of things, I think is what Orchidshine is getting at. And then to have strong inner morals. I think that's maybe Orchidshine's way of saying that, again, opposite to Daisy Quake, that you need to have a strong enough sense of duty that you put someone else's life above your own life, and that you are willing to kind of give your life in order to make sure that the clan lives. Those are your strong inner morals. They are the things that are going to help guide you when something like fear strikes your heart, because despite your fear, you are going to have the will to fight. And then obviously helped her become really good at fighting. So that's very, very intriguing. It totally makes sense. Like what I'm reading over here, what I'm seeing of Tornfinn, it totally makes sense that she's the one who graduated the top of her batch as the Torn Princess. I think she very much deserves her title. So okay, that is really cool. And Tornfinn, she has the coloring, honestly, with her eyes and her coat color, she has the coloring of her uncle, Rowanpelt, but she looks the closest to her mother. Like she looks very much like her mother in terms of like patterning and stuff. But coloring wise, she looks very much like a blend almost of Shadowspell and Rowanpelt, which is very, very cool to me. And the other two obviously look quite different. Thunderwind, I'm not sure who Thunderwind exactly takes after. There's no one in the family tree that he quite looks like, except for Goldpaw. He did look quite a bit like his cousin, Goldpaw. But aside from that, there's not really anyone in the family tree that he looks too much like. So that's kind of intriguing. He's like an odd one. But Daisy Quake does look quite a bit like his father, but a much daintier version of his father. Literally, like the complete opposite. Daisy Quake is nervous, his father's a troublemaker. Daisy Quake is, what was it? I mean, his personality-wise, you know, he has been taught to kind of avoid fighting, to value his own life, and Godzilla Star, meanwhile, is a good fighter. So, very, very intriguing. Very intriguing. But okay, that's what we have for the new cats that have aged up. Now let's go. Have we already checked out the Medicine Cat Den? I think we have. I think we have. Have we? Have we? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Okay. Let's check out the relationships and see what's going on over here. Plumraven nods politely as Lupine Claw passes by. Sunchill compliments one of Plumraven's friends. Buttercup Dusk includes Thunderpaw in a conversation that Thunderpaw struggled to join. Buttercup Dusk acknowledges Tornpaw with a twitch of his whiskers. Buttercup Dusk sneaks out at night to sleep in Stonespeck's nest. Stonespeck and Pepper strive to be like one another. Stonespeck thinks Daisypaw is annoying. Cloudfur didn't warn Canary Snap about a rock on the ground which caused Canary Snap to trip. Cloudfur is telling a story to Sunchill. Daisypaw points out to Shadowswell the spider is in her nest before she sits in it. Shadowswell learns about Blissfur's struggles and is surprised how well she carries herself. Lupine Claw apologized to Cloudfur for being rude the other day. Lupine Claw, Shadowswell, and Godzilla Star had a nice talk while eating. Thunderpaw says something vulnerable to Lupine Claw. Lupine Claw purrs for a long time at one of Canary Snap's lame jokes. This is nice. I think she is softening up now that she, for the first time in her life, has fallen in love with someone. So that's really nice. Orchidshine wants to spend time with friends, but all of them have plans with Sunchill. Orchidshine is jealous that Tornpaw got to go to the last gathering. Magpie Heart is complaining that Shadowswell never does anything helpful. Tornpaw compliments Magpie Heart's name. Pepper was noticeably distracted while Tornpaw was trying to tell a story. Pepper's hackles raise when Tornpaw passes by. Godzilla Star and Orchidshine have to break up a fight between their clanmates. At this point, it's probably like fights that Godzilla Star himself is causing, because we have seen him on several occasions cause fights within clan members. Thunderpaw has to help Godzilla Star stop choking on a huge bone. Canary Snap left a gift in Cloudfur's nest for her to find. Canary Snap is giving advice to Thunderpaw. Canary Snap and Lupine Claw have been sickeningly lovey-dovey all day. I'm loving this. Blissfur sees a clanmate complimenting Canary Snap and feels a pang of envy. Sunchill has faith in Plumraven. Daisyquake. Okay, so this is when they have, at this point somewhere, they have their apprentice, or their warrior ceremonies, sorry. Daisyquake is making up a new clan with Plumraven. Sunchill draws a pretty symbol in the sand that Thunderwind makes sure not to mess up. Tornfern calls to Plumraven to catch her fat mouse on her next hunting patrol. And that's all we have for events. So let me cut the recording and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let us resume with the cat list. First up, we have our loyalties. Everything is still the same as before. We have Godzilla Star's children, along with Orchidshine and Sunchill, who are loyal to him, and that's pretty much it. So about a third of the clan is loyal to Godzilla Star. 2/3 of the clan aren't really loyal to him. That aside, we want to go ahead and do our mediation between Canary Snap and Lupine Claw, who already seem to be going very, very well at this point. Yeah, very, very well. And it seems like, I don't know, I might be seeing things, but oh no, they have the same amount of feelings towards each other. So, you know, they are mutually very involved at this point. Canary Snap in the beginning was a little bit unsure and hesitant around Lupine Claw. But then, you know, after a little bit of cat and mouse between the two of them, they ended up being on the same wavelength. Let's mediate some more between them. Okay, romance, platonic like, respect, comfort, trust has increased, dislike and jealousy has decreased. Excellent, excellent. Good news for the two of them. Let's see what everyone is doing for the day. And you know what, guys? I was looking at our newest warriors and trying to figure out like who, because I have been unsure about who my favorite cat is from this litter with Tornfern, Daisyquake, and Thunderwind. I was unsure about this, and so I've been thinking, like I know with the previous litter, Goldpaw was my favorite, you guys know this, and I think, I'm not sure, I think in Orchidshine's litter, I liked Oddsnarl the best, Oddsnarl who ended up dying. She was actually the mediator apprentice, the one and only mediator apprentice we've ever had, and probably will ever have. She had really pretty like purple eyes, you know, heather blue eyes. Now in this litter, I've been unsure, literally since they were kittens, but I think if I had to pick, it would be Daisyquake. I think Daisyquake would be my favorite in this litter. I think just the idea, like his appearance, like his dainty appearance he has, from his dainty name, his dainty personality, like everything about that, I just think is so interesting, and I like it a lot. I don't know what it is, I just like the daintiness of him. So that's my favorite. But if you guys have a favorite from these three, let me know. Let me know. But okay, let us see what everyone's doing for the day. Godzilla Star daydreams about being a warrior in Tiger Clan. Plum Raven is careful not to stand under branches with snow on them. Canary Snap is staring off into space. Buttercup Dusk is drinking water from a nearby stream. Pepper is daydreaming. Stone Speck doesn't want to go on dawn patrol. Cloudfur tries to set a good example for younger cats. Shadow Swirl sneezes when a snowflake lands on her nose. Magpie Heart tries to set a good example for younger cats, so he is hanging out with... who are you hanging out with? Cloudfur. Magpie Heart is hanging out with his aunt, Cloudfur. Lupine Claw is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Orchid Shine is craving the taste of a rabbit. Sunchill curses a squirrel that just barely got away. Blissfur wants to compliment Orchid Shine's fighting techniques. Tornfern wishes she could take the day off. Honey, you just became a warrior. Daisy Quake is careful not to stand under the branches with snow on them. Daisy Quake, you are hanging out with Plum Raven. Okay, you're hanging out with your grandmother. That's nice. And then let's see, Thunderwind saw some wandering two legs today. You know what? I totally see why Tornfern wants a break. She has been like overworking herself from the moment she became apprentice. It's the reason why she graduated as the Torn Princess. But yeah, she has been just throwing her everything into it. And I think now that she's like accomplished her goal, you know, she's become the warrior, she just wants to rest a little bit. She just wants a little bit of rest. I understand, Tornfern, I understand. But okay guys, it seems as though that's all we had for the cat list, so let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Oh my goodness guys, look at this. We have every single cat except for Magpie Heart, who is going to be able to go out on patrols with us. That is wild. Okay, we currently have 92.5 prey. We need 46. We're going to send out Canary Snap first of all. It seems as though we're going to have 2 patrols of 6 and a patrol of 1. Okay, good to note. And I'm excited because this is the first time our warriors are going to be going out on patrols as fully fledged cats. But it's also wartime, so I'm stressed about that too. Okay, Canary Snap heads out into the territory to stock up on cobwebs, something the clan never seems to have enough of. Proceed. Canary Snap finds plenty of cobwebs, gently collecting them on the ends of sticks. No cat will have the chance to bleed out, not now, with so many cobwebs to staunch their wounds. Cobwebs were gathered, excellent, and now let's see what the deputy, now that we don't have apprentices, the mentors are not really kind of working out or deciding so much the patrols anymore. I mean, I usually say that when we have apprentices, the mentors, they work together with the deputy to figure out like how they want to arrange patrols, because it goes a lot into their, you know, teaching methods and techniques. But now that they don't have any apprentices to teach, then the deputy is pretty much taking control over all the patrols. So let's see who the deputy is going to assign first up. Okay, we have Sunchill, Cloudfur, Blissfur, Thunderwind, Stone Speck, and Godzilla Star, who are going to go out together. So let's send them off. The patrol comes across a large rat. It's too busy digging around in a frozen pile of foul two-leg crow food to notice the approaching patrol. Proceed. Stone Speck drops into the perfect hunter's crouch and slowly creeps closer. She suddenly hisses loudly, scaring the rat away and startling her clanmates. Stone Speck explains crossly that the rat was carrying a foul, sickly sweet scent on its breath. It would have poisoned any cat that bit it. Oh my goodness, Stone Speck. Good on you, Stone Speck. Okay, we kind of got saved by Stone Speck over there. Hopefully this was a good lesson for Thunderwind, since this was his first time out. Okay, next up we have... oh, look at this. Orchid Shine, Shadow Swirl, Tornfern, Pepper, Plum Raven, and Lupine Claw who are going out, which means that a very dainty Daisy Quake has been assigned on a solo patrol. Okay guys, let's send these guys out and see what they get up to. Plum Raven sees 2 kids from Lion Clan playing close to the border. Proceed. Plum Raven decides to bring Orchid Shine with her to Lion Clan and orders the others back to camp. As they approach Lion Clan, they're immediately greeted by the leader, who recognizes Plum Raven, knowing her to be a kind and caring cat, and thanks them both sincerely. So this helped relations with Liar Clan, thank goodness. And finally, I'm a bit nervous about this. We have Daisy Quake going out on a solo patrol. The patrol comes across a shrew. Proceed. Daisy Quake drops into a crouch and stalks towards the shrew. He pounces on it, swiftly killing it with a bite to the back of the head. Okay, good on you, Daisy Quake. He actually did very well on his own. He brought a small amount of prey to camp, which is good. We have 96.5. You know what, Daisy Quake? You actually, I think, probably did the best out of all the patrols we sent out, so good on you. But that is all we have for this particular episode, guys. Now, since we don't have any kittens, any apprentices, any of that, we just had a new batch of warriors age up, I'm thinking that I am going to play off camera until I get a pregnancy notice from Lupine Claw. Now, if that notice is in the next moon, then we'll just resume as usual. But if it's not, then I will play off camera and I will make sure to note down like the major events that happen if there is anything big. Like if we have, you know, deaths, breakups, any of those kind of things, or relationships, I'll make sure to note those down. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.